All right, so if you're thinking about moving anywhere in North Idaho, there are 7 incredibly fun facts that you need to know. In fact, that last one, you're really going to want to stay tuned to the very end to get. So if you want to know those 7 fun facts, stay tuned. What's up, everybody? This is Jackson Wilkey.
And I'm Conor Hammons.
That's right. And in this channel, if this is your first time, we literally do all different types of videos and vlogs of what it's like to work, eat, sleep, live, play here in North Idaho. So if you want that information, make sure you tap that subscribe button and you click the little bell so you're notified every time we do a new video. And we get phone calls each and every day from people moving and relocating here, and we absolutely love it. So if you're thinking of moving or relocating anywhere in Eastern Washington or Northern Idaho, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. Days, nights, weekends, we never stop working to help you move to North Idaho. So we've come up with 7 incredible fun facts. Now, when you're going to be moving to North Idaho, you're going to want to know these things. So that's why we did this video. So the hub of it all, the anchor of North Idaho. Let's get into number 1, Conor. Jump into it.
Yeah, number 1 fun fact is obvious. It's the name, Coeur dAlene.
Yep.
I can't tell you how many times I get called by a telemarketer. I know exactly that they're not from here by the pause before they try and say Coeur dAlene. It's crazy. A lot of letters. When you're growing up, you got to learn how to spell it. But where did it come from? It's where did Coeur dAlene come from? Really, it originated from the French. So there was native Coeur d'Alene Indians here in this area. The French fur traders came into the area, and just really when negotiating with the natives here, realized that these people were very sharp, really hard negotiators, and they likened them to one of the tools they use, which is an awl. So it's not like heart of it all, which a lot of people think like a heart of it all. It's actually heart of an all.
Yeah.
What Coeur d'Alene stands for. And so yeah, it's a fun fact. It's a hard word to say and spell, but it's really cool when you know where it originated from.
That is the funniest part, that yes, we did have to learn how to spell that. And number 2 fun fact on the list is Pond Oreille. So when you look at this online or anywhere and reading it, it looks like Pond Oreille or whatever you want to say, but again, it's another term derived from the French coming down. So what it was is it has to do with ear pendants. The tribes that here wore ear pendants, but if you actually look on the map view, Pond Oreille looks like actually an ear, but we do know, obviously they didn't have aerial maps back then. But I do want to talk about this real quick because as a fun fact, Lake Coeur d'Alene literally gets all the action, gets all the credit, but like Pond Oreille, just up to the north, that's the 3rd deepest lake west of the Mississippi. It's 1,150 feet deep. There's active submarines there. Bayview is just a town there on the southern end. It's kind of a retirement community, but absolutely stunning, gorgeous, and there's submarines parked right there for the Navy. But Pond Oreille, you can live all the way up, into Sandpoint, Conor? I mean, we've helped people all the way, Dover Bay, some of those areas?
Yeah, Bayview is incredible.
Yep.
I mean, and this is like, the lake is so deep, you have the mountains coming straight down.
Vertical.
If you're on a boat on the east side of the lake, you can see mountain goats playing up there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it stretches all the way from the south, which is Bayview, Farragut State Park, all the way up to Sandpoint. Beautiful, beautiful lake.
So it's Pond Oreille, if you want to say that. Pond Oreille Lake, Pond Oreille County, or Pond Oreille the city. So let's jump into the other fact, number 3. This one's pretty funny.
Yeah, number 3, we're going to go with a couple state things. So the state fruit of Idaho is the huckleberry. I don't know if you've ever heard of the huckleberry, but up around here it is gold. So
yes.
Around August, September, you can go up hiking in the mountains, Priest Lake area, which is another beautiful lake just north of Pond Oreille. We used to go camping every summer with my family growing up, and we go pick huckleberries, just get a bunch of bags. Go get a bunch of them, and you can find them in a lot of things here in the Northwest. Huckleberry vodka, it's delicious. Huckleberry beer, you got huckleberry pancakes. I mean, they're everywhere, and can't beat them in my opinion.
Kind of reminds me of bubblegum shrimp. You got fried shrimp. Literally, huckleberrying is like the biggest thing ever. You can do that, and I'm a big archery hunter, elk hunter, and so the season, is through September, and man, we be sitting there every year. It definitely changes. Sometimes in August they're going, and by the middle of September they can be almost done. Sometimes middle of September they're amazing. So you sit there, you're elk hunting, you're picking berries. But huckleberrying is the thing. But what's the next thing they need to know?
So good, so good. Next thing, the state vegetable. An obvious one, what everybody thinks of when you talk about Idaho, if I'm traveling, meeting people from out of state, is the potato. The state vegetable is the potato. Fun fact, though, about Coeur d'Alene, 0 potatoes up here at all. Nothing. You can't find a potato farm in sight. Those are all down in the mid to southern regions of Idaho. Up here we have, pine trees, mountains, and lakes.
Yeah.
Down there they have the potatoes. Although we love our potatoes, they're not found up here in the Coeur d'Alene area.
So with that, we are actually known sneakily as the Gem State, meaning that we actually have 72 precious metals here, and it's kind of why we were founded, and a lot of the early settlers came, and why Teddy Roosevelt himself blessed our state with his boots. So yes, we definitely get this every time when we're from Idaho, that all we do is grow potatoes. You don't find it here in North Idaho, but we do have the precious metals over Silver Valley, right?
Yep. Yeah, Silver Valley, just east of Coeur d'Alene, only really a 30-minute drive.
Yep.
You have Kellogg, Wallace, Mullen. It's a real tight valley. Still a little bit of active mining going on. But back in the day, I mean, that was the spot to be. It was just mines going, and a lot of people in those areas. Obviously, they've migrated out more after the mining. A lot of them shut down. But it's still a beautiful area. That's kind of where all the things started here in North Idaho.
Definitely something to do. They have incredible mine tours. But yes, at one point, Kellogg was the biggest city in the state of Idaho, over 50,000 residents there. So absolutely crazy. But let's jump into number 4. And this is kind of Idaho in general, but it definitely speaks volume more of the Northern Idaho. 63% of Idaho is public land. Literally, we are in kind of a valley of mountains. You have 360-degree views of mountains around you, just 15 minutes outside of Coeur d'Alene, Sandpoint, Spirit Lake. Any of these mountains you can basically take and get to a different state. You could get up into Montana. So we are literally full of national forest, public lands, and what we also have is a ton of obvious timber companies. So for $40 you can get timber company passes, and that allows you to go past the timber gates. They usually have check stations, so for hunting or just blueberry picking, morel mushrooms, which are in right now, and the best mushroom on planet Earth. Yes, it is literally national forest everywhere. So another interesting
playground, man.
Nature's playground, literally everything. But number 5, this is kind of interesting.
Yeah, number 5, a lot of people don't know this, is we have 2 different time zones. Only 13 states that has 2 different time zones, and up here in the north, we're actually in the Pacific time zone. So we're in the panhandle of Idaho, up in North Idaho, and so we kind of sync with Washington. So we're in the Pacific time zone. Everything south is in the Mountain Standard time zone. A lot of that, has to do with, I think, personally, I don't have any, facts to back this up, but Coeur d'Alene and North Idaho really economically sync with Spokane, is kind of the big metro area, which is just right across the border. So you got a lot of companies, a lot of people commuting back and forth. And I think it just makes a lot of sense for us up here, but it does get a little confusing when people are calling from out of state and you're trying to schedule stuff, and they typically think we're on mountain time, but up here in Coeur d'Alene area, it's Pacific time. Yeah,
so here's something to know when moving to North Idaho. So we're in that Pacific time zone, but literally like 30 miles to the east is the Montana border. They are in the mountain standard, in the mountain time. So it actually gets dark in North Idaho, like in the middle of summer at our longest hours at about 8:45-ish, where that's 9:45 in the Montana time. And I do know, doing vacations and stuff over on the West Coast, the Seattles, the Portlands, like it's light till like 10 o'clock at night. So it does get dark here a little bit earlier because we're so close to that mountain time. Hey, one more fun fact. We have one area code. I think we just gained another one, but if you get a call from 20, we finally got a new one, but if you get a call, just like our number 208, that is literally, the state has one area code. So we'll jump into number 6. We have a wooden roller coaster here. In fact, 2 of them now, but Silverwood theme park is just to the north of Hayden. It's basically in the Hayden Athol area, and it was, it was built in the 80s, the mid to late 80s, and it was just kind of a little theme park. I remember going there like right away. It had some rides and mainly just shopping and stuff, but now it is an absolute spectacle. Huge rides. There's the Ravenwood RV park. There's RV parks across from it. You literally park on the east side of Highway 95 and walk a tunnel underneath to get to Silverwood. So it's an incredibly nationally known theme park now that is right in our backyard. They have incredible summer passes. So, you'll always have that going.
Yeah, it's a hot spot in the summer. I mean, it's, I think, the biggest theme park in the Inland Northwest by far. And we get a lot of vacationers, travelers down from Canada, from the west side of Washington, all over, really. And it's fun, man. I mean, the theme parks are legit. The roller coasters are big and fast and fun. And they also have an attached giant water park. So you can spend, honestly, you can spend 3 full days exploring that park. And it's fun to see how it's grown since like when we were kids, right? So I would go, I think my family would go up there. They just had a little train around the park. They
got robbed.
Got robbed. Yeah, they have a little show on the train. They have, little shops, fake bar, all kind of looking like saloon style back in the old Wild West. And they used to have a little air show out there. So they kind of bank stuff on airplanes. But right now it's full-fledged theme park, and it's fun to take the kids, that's for sure.
Put you right on the edge of Bayview, so you're right next to Pond Oreille, right on the edge of Hayden Lake, so it's a perfect spot. So we're going to jump into the next fun fact here, number 7. I'm actually going to kick this off because we both are going to talk about this. Really, the reason that, Coeur d'Alene is on the map is because of its tourism, because of how beautiful it is. Why that is because our Coeur d'Alene Resort and HAYDEN properties. So the resort was actually the North Shore Resort, built in the 60s. So that is what it originated as. And in 1983, dwayne HAYDEN, everybody knows Dwayne HAYDEN if you're from North Idaho, he purchased it. And so in 86, they actually built the Coeur d'Alene Resort, the resort on the lake, and now we have 18-floor towers. So there's a park tower and the lake tower. So I was a bellman there for 7 years. I know every single room in and out. There's the HAYDEN suites up top. There's the Jaeger suites up top. And so that is really what brought in a lot of the tourism. Everybody started staying there and seeing, oh my gosh, this place is gorgeous. It's right off of Sherman Avenue, which is our main downtown, and also Fort Sherman, which is, obviously when, 100 plus years ago when literally the armies were stationed here too. But he did something else very special that brought a lot of people in where you worked.
Yeah, and then he just transitioned that right over to the Coeur d'Alene Resort Golf Course, which is world renowned now, and built the world's only floating green. I think, HAYDEN was a visionary, right, around that area. So it used to be, we were a logging town, a mill town, lots of mills. And I think when that industry started kind of declining a little bit, he saw the beauty in this area and really jumped at it. So building the resort kind of anchored the downtown, right? And then he's like, okay, here's another mill that's kind of going down right now, and it was the Rutledge Mill owned by the Potlatch Company that was on the Coeur d'Alene Lake, just across Tubbs Hill from the resort.
Primo.
Yeah, prime real estate. But back then, no one was really thinking in those terms, right? And so he went in and made one of the most beautiful golf courses in the world, and it's in Golf Digest and all that good stuff. I was fortunate to caddy out there during my college summers, which was like the coolest job ever, just being to run around and caddy for guests. But one of the other things, he couldn't just build a golf course. He had to go a little extra. And so he did the world's only floating green. 2,300 tons is this green. And the cool thing is it's completely floating. So it's not an island like on some courses. It's on cables. So every day it's a different yardage. You step up to the 14th hole, it could be 125, it could be 175. And you hit your balls over there. If you're lucky enough to actually make it to dry land, you walk on down, take a little putter boat, and drive a little boat over to the green. It's pretty crazy. It's a ton of fun.
Oh, dude, that wind comes ripping off the lake, so landing it on that green is definitely, it's a win. It's definitely a win. If you go in the drink, you used to have a little business, scuba diving, getting balls, reselling them, Hey, we're learning about all your hustles, but honestly, these are 7 fun facts. But yes, I mean it's fun to relive a lot of this stuff. Idaho is absolutely exploding, and it's tough to find the perfect area for you to live, whether it's all the way up north to Sandpoint, the Coeur d'Alene's, Post Falls. But that's what we're here for, is literally to figure out why you want North Idaho. The only way we can help you is you got to reach out. You got to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. Literally day, nights, weekends, we never stop working. So until the next video, guys, we'll catch you later.